Hello, pull up a chair and join us on the Alcove. Back after a long break in a brand new environment.
January 15th.
With episode 59 of our homebrewed 5th edition D&D
Seems like
campaign.
just yesterday.
The Chaoslands. As always, before we start, we have a handful of quick announcements, so let's go through those. Moving forward, based on the changes that you can see around us, we'll be foregoing streaming and instead uploading our WOD to YouTube directly at some point on or around Mondays?
Yeah.
Ish?
Oh, not Mondays.
It won't go live
Tuesdays?
on Monday. Yeah, probably
Whatever.
Tuesdays.
We'll figure it out. When you see this, it will have been a day, and this will have been posted on said day.
Subscribe and YouTube will let you know.
Exactly. The best and most consistent way to watch our videos will be to subscribe to the channel down below, so that you can get a notification whenever new episodes are uploaded. Aside from our channel, you'll also find links below this video to all of our social media accounts, so Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Go ahead and follow those for all of the latest news, any schedule updates, as well as awesome character art, profiles, and other fun things. We use a variety of background music to improve the ambiance of our game and stream, and you may recognize some of it from Critical Role's Welcome to Taldore, Welcome to Wildmount, and Candela Obscura collection albums, as well as some royalty-free music courtesy of Riot Games. Links to those can be found below. Everyone ready?
Nope.
Everyone excited?
Cool.
Alright, well,
It's been a while.
let's begin our dive into the Chaoslands. Effect coming back soon. Maybe. Or not. We'll see how
That
it
should be
goes.
easy to get in.
Yeah, we can just post it in, right?
We'll do it in
We'll just
post.
print it on paper and hold it up in front
Yeah,
of the camera.
it's fun. We started so professional and now
We've downgraded.
Well, we're
Sometimes
not
you-
streaming, so we can make this more professional. We can just put all the effects in post.
It's true. It's true. I could just edit the shit out of this and then it'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Now we just
Sometimes you have to go backwards to go forwards.
improvise.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, of course.
Anyway. The Iron Well. Having arrived in the distant and unfamiliar Frostfang Woods, having restored their ally, the big one, from the dead, had begun a long and treacherous journey towards the Rexate of Siltia in search of answers about the red lightning rifts that plague the continent of Revenant. Traveling through the woods for a few days, your camp had one night been approached by a frail-looking young woman dressed in a heavy suit of armor. She introduced herself as Shaira Khaldun, a vampire who lives in a manor deep within the woods with her manservant Gregor, and invited you to spend the next evening at her home, safe from the werewolves of the woods, given that the full moon would be in the sky. As such, you made your way to her estate, and were met there by the aforementioned Gregor, and once night fell, were joined by Shay herself. The night proved extremely insightful, this being your first encounter with an extremely smart and well-educated mage in Shay, who also happened to be quite long-lived and had had a lot of life experiences due to her vampiric nature, as well as a roaming nomadic warrior in Gregor, who used a fighting style not dissimilar from that which Timon has learned to wield. In particular, Shay made mention of her sire, one Karis Miranon, a name that you had recently heard from a strange fey entity who called himself the Weaver. After a sparring match with Gregor, some investigation of cursed books in the library, and a delicious dinner of dried meats, roasted vegetables, and banana bread, courtesy of a very spooked Timon, you attempted to turn in for the night, shielded by Kalthir's protective dome. However, while on watch, and only about halfway through the night, your bedchamber was intruded upon by Shay, who dispelled the dome and entreated Kalthir to have a private conversation with her downstairs. With Kalthir agreeing and making his way down to the parlor, Timon quickly woke up Arkmir and filled him in.
Oh, that's the lance. That's
Oh, yeah.
What lamps?
It was the lance. I was talking
Like
to somebody.
Karis's lance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you fought Gregor.
There was like the thing
lance.
up
I
on
was
the
talking
top.
to somebody.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Timon quickly woke up Arkmir and filled him in so that he could
Oh, yeah,
sneak
Shay.
downstairs and eavesdrop into the conversation. And at the end of the conversation, Kalthir, the door open, you walk back out into the hallway. You can see up at the top of the stairs, Timon standing, shaking, holding his rifle. Arkmir, you've slipped back upstairs. What do you do, Kalthir?
I think I just take a minute to think about everything that Shay was asking and things she was mentioning, and try to just recompose myself and walk back up to ensure Timon that everything's all right.
Are you alright? Is it you?
It is me.
Still you?
I'm still me.
I poke you with the gun. You kill him.
I'm not as strong as you. You should be careful doing that.
Alright, where's Arkmir?
He was up here when I left. Do we see Arkmir?
Where did you go? As the door opened,
I thought I would have returned to the room.
so he would have passed by you as you went upstairs.
He was so sneaky.
Yeah, maybe you're just so showing it.
Or you were so laser focused on the door that you didn't even realize.
Because he would have seen me while I was down there listening, and then he would have seen me going.
What happened? What happened?
Let's.
Did she bite you?
No, she didn't.
Say something. Only Calvin.
I'm inside the room.
You hear the door from behind to the parlor just close.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think
Where did we meet?
in the I forget the name of the woods now. In the woods, fighting goblins.
Shoot him!
You were in the caravan. I saved you.
Alright. Come on.
The other two are sleeping in there still, right?
As you go back into the room, you can see Arkmir having whatever Arkmir was doing, playing with his buddy, apparently.
Whoa!
Is that what you call it now? Alright.
I got a rabbit.
But the big one and Astra are still sleeping.
Okay. Then, with a hushed voice, I'm not going to actually whisper just so we pick it up, but it is quite late and I don't really want to wake up the others. Perhaps we can have a conversation in the morning. I don't think we have to worry about Shay and Gregor.
Did she make your bubbly thing go away?
You did.
Oh, yes. She did.
What the fuck?
I don't know how that's possible, to be honest. Very powerful anti-magic.
We're not safe here.
I don't disagree with that. But I don't think it's because of those who currently are in this house. It's not a bad idea for us to still do watch, but I think we still try to get a night's rest and discuss what we want to do in the morning.
Alright. I can't sleep.
Do we have, no, I was going to say, do we have any kind of, sleepy time tea or anything? I can just be here, this will help you stay awake, and it just is going to knock you the fuck out. I don't think I have.
You can always try casting sleep.
He's way too strong for that. I cast sleep on you 20 times.
You could beat him up a little and then cast sleep.
That's not going to happen.
I rolled 10 on my insight check.
Okay. So you would not have known that he was hiding something when he made that other check.
If you want, because you said it was about halfway through, right?
It's about halfway through. It's towards the end of your 4 hours of...
Well, I would have done, I don't know exactly how we do it, because, we usually do 3 watches, but I don't think it's a 12-hour window, right?
Yeah, it's usually a 10-ish hour.
Yeah, 8
window.
to 10 or something. Usually I will do stay up as much as I can, as long as I can get my minimum the 4 hour.
Usually, you also went to bed pretty late.
Okay.
So it would be just shortly before dawn.
Okay.
By now, which is about halfway through your
Right. So if you want, I can stay up for the next little while with you. I mean, you can try getting shut eye, but.
Yes, please.
Trying to remember, do I still have, or if I have it or someone else has it, there's a stone to prevent being scryed on, was it?
Yes, somebody has.
I think you would have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we put it in the box and then she freaked out on us.
Yeah.
There it is.
Alright, I'll just call it the scry stone.
Scry stone. So I think
Anti-scry stone.
I'm gonna mostly. I don't remember the setup of the room now, but if there is a chair or something, I'm mostly just gonna take it, turn it, and face it towards the door, and just
There probably would have been a chair, at least one, just in front of like a dressing table with like a mirror stuff on it. The mirror's like covered with dust.
Right.
And there's like a 4-poster bed on the side. I don't think anybody was using the bed. You guys had all laid out your
I think so.
bedrolls.
Yeah, still trying to be as quiet as possible because I will look to wake people up when the turnover happens. Yep. Probably the people who are still sleeping because they'll be most rested.
Yep.
The big one has a boner.
He's having a good dream. I'm going to sit down, which is like facing the door, but I am going to reach into my bag and I will pull out the Creating Life book. And I'm going to be trying to like analyze it a little bit differently this time.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I go and sit down on the floor right next to you, glued to you. And then, I have my rifle, and I am trembling a little bit.
Timon's just a cowardly lion.
You were asleep for the past, 4 to 5 hours, roughly.
Brave,
so
but
you've
scared.
just woken up. You can
I got woken up.
You can keep the watch, or you can try to go back to sleep.
Right.
Yeah, it's up to you. I don't know where you're at.
Did you see any danger?
Did not see anything dangerous. But I may just roam the house a bit. Yeah. Because I've been asleep, so I'm just gonna go for a little walk out there. Be back.
Sure. Be careful. I do say respect the tenants of the house. I do believe they are trying to do good by us. But I do also think that there is danger just being in this house. And there is powerful magic at play here. So, yes, if you see a red button, don't press it.
I mean, you didn't do the mind connection thing when you went down, but maybe do it this time so that if you're in trouble being sucked at or something.
Why do I have 2?
Oh, can I borrow one?
Yeah. I actually... whatever.
That will be okay. Just the house seems... While we've been here, it seems really safe.
Oh, you're dead.
2 minutes after he leaves, just
Right.
Arkman comes back pale white.
So these guys are keeping watch. Arkmir,
Yep.
head out.
Yeah.
Are you trying to sneak around, or are you...
No.
You're just heading out the door.
I mean, I'm not making any loud noises or anything. Just
naturally,
walking
you are fairly you open the door, you head outside. What are you hoping to do?
I just want to go down to the basement some more. The dungeon.
So you're currently on the second floor, the bedroom and the parlor and stuff. Where you head downstairs and you come to the parlor is downstairs. The art studio is on the second floor. You go down the stairs. You come to the parlor and the hallway with a massive painting of the battle on the wall that you've seen in the past. The door to the kitchen, the door to the dining room, and beside the door to the kitchen, there's this door that you went down last time to go to the basement.
Right.
It is closed.
Okay.
It is also locked. If you try and open it.
I see. Tempting, but I'll remind myself of what
You
Calthier's
hear
mentioned.
it's hard to miss, really. And upstairs also you probably start hearing, especially with your perception, faintly, the sound of a violin playing, very poorly. There's brief moments, probably about 5 or 6 or 7 seconds where it sounds really nice, and then there's just a really loud screech. And
Is that?
it's coming from the parlor.
okay.
With the door closed.
That would have been the room that I came out of, right?
Yeah, that would be the room that
Okay.
Frostfang came out of.
I'm gonna make my way there.
You open the door and you can see inside. Shay has got a violin up, and she's just closed her eyes and is playing, and stops, and then playing. She's wearing this long, flowing, like black/purple robe, almost like an evening gown of sorts. And she's just trying. She has her eyes closed and just like walking around trying to play. She looks. Make an insight check.
Do the
5.
She has a strange expression on her face.
Okay.
Really quickly, I don't know how well I can hear it, but I am going to try to see if I recognize the song she's trying to play.
Make a history check.
Fuck. Nope. 6.
Nah.
Yeah.
You haven't really heard anybody play the violin, probably ever.
Okay.
To be honest, it's a strange like sound that's coming.
What is this? Nails on a chalkboard.
Like you've definitely heard other musical instruments, but you can't pinpoint what instrument this is even. She has a strange expression on her face that she's kind of like spinning around on the spot, just like trying different angles of it. You notice that one of the cabinets on the side of this library, where the top half of the bookshelf, essentially, there's like a cabinet underneath it.
Yep.
That's flung open. Inside there's a couple of shelves, and there's it seems like one of them is empty, and that's where she picked up the violin.
Is there, I guess, like, following along from the notes and stuff, do I get a general sense of, like, is it kind of, like, song repeating? Is it, like...
Yeah, she's trying, like, the same thing a few times.
Yeah. I'm going to pull out the hurdy-gurdy and try and play along with her there.
Yeah. She hadn't noticed you, but as soon as you pull out the hurdy-gurdy and start playing, her eyes open and she turns around and looks at you and, like, essentially, like, stops performing, lets you continue playing the song. You don't recognize the song, but you're able to make a performance check to see how quickly you can like match what the song that you're playing.
You didn't connect, did you?
You're not in my head this time.
Hey, Acme.
At least a 7. Oh wait, no. Yeah, at least a 17.
Yeah, you're able to perform a song picking up from what she was playing. She nods at you and like tilts her head and listens, and eventually you like circle around and like wrap up the song in like a high flourish. And she gives like a soft clap. You perform quite well.
Thank you.
I know it.
How long have you been playing the violin for?
It's the latest in several ways to pass the time. Not long. Only a few years.
Is music a passion of yours?
When I lived back in Siltia, I loved all sorts of arts. Music, sculpting, painting, modeling, fashion. Anything to bring beauty to the world. Suffice it to say, I was never very good at all of them, but I've had a lot of time recently, and it doesn't seem like I've gotten much better, so perhaps I just don't have the talent for those sort of things. Arkmir was your name, right?
Yes.
You have a rare and unique talent. You should continue to perform. I'm sure people in Siltia they would appreciate it. There's a musical college that's quite renowned for the performing venues and symphonies that some of the attendees have written.
What's the name?
The Academy of Music.
Oh, the Academy of Music. The AOM.
No, that was just making shit. It's called the. It's been so many years that I can't even remember it anymore.
It's an easy way out, and I love it.
Yeah.
Don't actually know.
Pouliard.
The honky tonk town?
I'll get back to you in a bit. It had something to do with glass and chimes and the Windward Institute of...
Glass.
No, I think it was just the Glassword Institute. Glassword Institute.
The Glassword Institute.
It's spelled Glasword.
It's too late. Glaswor?
Yes.
Oh. One extra S. Cool. Shay, what I came down here to ask you about was, I guess, are you familiar with Icefall at all?
Icefall. I haven't been myself, but I've heard stories, and everybody is familiar with it to some degree. There's a very powerful military wreck site. They've been around for a long time. Many people say they were the first wreck site. They're located roughly north of these woods, northeast a little. Very secretive about the source of their military power. They have their army and soldiers are uniquely talented. Honestly, not many people get in or get out of the wreck site that easily.
Much more, maybe a little bit player talk, but on the map that we got, does it give us a sense of like the type of terrain or things of it? Like Icefall, just given from the name, implying like ice stuff as well. Are there other locations beyond Icefall that kind of have that type of terrain, or?
Well, most of the mountains are like snow-capped.
He's from Snow.
Snowcat, yeah.
Where Time in the Storm, Cornhall, is also in a snowy mountain. It's actually within the same mountain range as Icefall, just on opposite ends, essentially.
Kiss Max teeth.
That is definitely the most prominent snowy, icy region upon the map.
Okay. That's my follow-up question then to Shay would be, like, Shay, I know you've had a long time to spend looking at maps.
There's one other detail. I'm sure you've noticed the painting out in the hallway.
Yes.
The soldiers on the other side of my sire, the opposition, so to speak. You've seen those winged figures in the picture?
Yes.
Those would be the soldiers of Icefall, but a long time ago, when they were much more devout. I would put it. They've grown more darker and closed off in recent memory. Potentially something to do with the fact that they lost that battle quite handily.
That'd do it.
Let's see.
But
We
that
need
was
that description of that
centuries
painting
ago now,
again
so-
later.
Just this like really hot guy, like in armor with a big like
Big lance.
yeah.
I guess with your familiarity with just geography and terrain, just curious if, guess what part of this land is. Where can I find something like similar to a giant wall of ice?
Well, the mountains near Icefall, Kazmak's Teeth, would be one such place. I'm sure there's many large glaciers upon those mountains that could surface large walls of ice. Yeah, that's the only place I can think of, really. That's all she said.
Okay.
Why do you ask? That's quite a specific location that you're looking for.
Have you ever had dreams or visions of locations?
Well, not for many years. My kind, we don't really dream. So I can't say that I have. You've had some visions of
I don't
places like those.
These weren't dreams, but it seemed like a vision at least a few times.
Is there anything more you can tell me? Any more details?
Doors are shut.
Anything?
Just a face in the ice. A reflection, or maybe something more. But
Interesting. Do you know what? Do you know what heritage you are?
no.
There is a place. It's not. There are legends of a particularly powerful being trapped within a wall of ice or crystal, but they're not necessarily around here. The only thing that connects him to you would potentially be your demonic heritage and nature. There's a man who goes by the name of Levistus, the ruler of Stygia, one of the 9 hells of Bator. A long time ago, he, let's just say, attempted to overthrow Lord Asmodeus, and Asmodeus does not take too kindly to those with such ambition. And he trapped him within a large ice crystal located within the domain that Levistus was from. He has been there since.
So that's not here.
Not on this plane of existence, no, but if you were connected to him somehow with your heritage, and if you'd been hearing or receiving visions, they might have been from him.
Do you know where? Well, thank you, first of all. But where can I find out more about Levistus?
That's a very difficult question. I don't know of any experts in devils within Sylvia or within anywhere, to be honest. I myself have not studied that, but perhaps you can find someone in the university who specializes in that. The Academy Sofra, whatever that was.
Do we actually have a name?
I'm sorry, I've had a lot of things in my mind recently. Had a very interesting night so far. The Syncrophic Academy. I'm sure there are many in there who I'm sure there are some people there who have studied the devils and the 9 hells, and maybe can enlighten you a bit more.
Thank you. Sorry to bother you, keep you up. But
I will be going to sleep quite shortly. The sun will be coming up soon, so.
Let me not keep you up anymore, so. Head up.
Yes. I'm sure Gregor will be waking up shortly. I think he said he had some tending to do in the garden. So. If you have anything else that you need, I'm sure he'll be able to help. And he's also quite well traveled and may have heard more. But that's all that I know.
If you don't mind, can we keep this discussion between us?
No, certainly.
Count your stocks.
So she decides to put away the violin and just like sits down for a bit on the armchair, just like lounging a little bit.
Ooh.
Is there anything else you want to do? What are you doing?
No, I'll make my way out.
Okay. You head out of the room.
Back up to our room.
Head back upstairs. The door opens. Arthur walks in. Time have you fallen asleep yet, or are you still just sitting there?
No, I'm still there.
Okay.
Keep subtly casting sleep in your direction, hoping it'll nod you off.
There is a window in your room, and you can see from outside that the sky is beginning to lighten a little bit. Dawn is happening.
Do I see creatures?
Make a perception check.
What's my perception again? Two. Plus 5, so 7.
It's still kind of dark. There's still a lot of shadows around, and you are up on the second floor. It's kind of hard to see through all the tree branches and stuff outside. You don't see anything.
Galtier. You said we're in danger. How much danger are we?
I just mean if we were to stay here for prolonged duration, I think we run the risk of being in danger.
Prolonged as in the whole night?
No. Longer term than that. Days.
So Vampire Queen did not try to eat you?
I don't think she's a queen, but no.
Can you help me sleep?
Just trying to like cast sleep on him to just assist in him trying to fall asleep.
Just make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy, I'm really good at this. 18 plus 8. 26.
He's not sleeping.
Yeah, you're not sleeping. A couple of hours pass. You do have to go into your trance.
Yep.
So you do that. Do you wake up anybody, or just?
Yeah. Leave Astra. She needs her sleep. And I'll go over and shake Big One away.
Good morning.
Morning. I do need to rest myself.
Oh, certainly.
Be aware there have been some ongoings throughout the night. Nothing to worry about, though
Are you okay?
he might disagree.
You see Diamond with like red shot eyes.
Yeah, he is
emoji.
on edge. If you
Kinda
have anything
translate.
to help him sleep, that would probably be good.
I don't. Okay.
Nothing to
Get some
worry
rest.
about.
Can you knock me on my head really hard?
I could, but it might kill you. Is that better than your current state?
Maybe.
Okay. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, so I'll go sit over, kind of take his place, and go into a train.
Okay. You go into your trance. Close your eyes, and you see what you're used to seeing at this point. the strange sort of constellation-like skeletons of your companions. Still noticing the strangeness around the big ones.
Right.
Skeleton. So what are the rest of you doing for this 4-hour period
So
towards the end of the watch?
Vampire
go
Queen
back to
came
sleep,
over.
or-
You can if you want to, or you can just laze around.
I'll play with my rabbit.
The idea of a long rest is that you're spending 8 to 10 hours just relaxing, doing stuff either at camp or whatever. Obviously, it's ideal if you're spending 8 hours of it sleeping because that's how much sleep your body needs.
Yeah.
If you spend less, you would have to make constitution checks to see if you're exhausted the next day or not. But because of the nature of this night with a lot of waking up and a lot of like, you can say you went back to sleep, you can say you didn't, you can say you tried to. It's kind of loosey-goosey for
Okay.
this night.
I'll be out playing rabbit and honing the hurdy-gurdy.
She's been quite terrified ever since you've come up into this house, and she still is very skittish and not.
The rabbit?
Yes,
Mm.
Jen.
Jen.
Yeah, Jen.
So Vampire Queen, she came over. She dispelled the bubble. You see, there's no bubble. There's no protection.
I was asleep. I didn't notice.
Hi. So she said, "Oh, Tatia, come here. Let's go downstairs to talk." And he goes. Oh, leaves me alone.
Oh no.
And I was terrified. So I woke up Arkmir to see if he could do the mind thing and keep
Oh,
me
right, yes.
up to date. He just runs downstairs, leave me alone,
No.
stare down in the darkness.
Oh, well, I promise you I won't leave you.
So they come back. He says, "We're in danger, but not so much." Like,
Oh,
what the fuck, man?
I did get this plant from Elmer's. If you want to smoke it, it might help you go to sleep.
I'll take it.
Okay, there you go. You get some sleep, friend.
Just like, it's like small puffs. He's like,
Yeah.
It just instantly pat.
That was
yeah.
a week's worth
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Sleep well, friend. During my watch, I'm gonna notice that Ashra is pleasantly sleeping, and she's been distracted lately. So I'm actually going to remove the infusion on her wand, and I'm going to give myself enhanced defense for this day's journey. So I will take that away, and I get +1 to my armor class.
Cool.
And when she's feeling ready again, we can certainly give that back to her. Probably never. And then other than that, I'm just thinking about Brutog, the Loxodon clan, and all the things that she mentioned to us, and just kind of amazed and
I think it was mostly Gregor who told you that.
or sorry, Gregor that told me that. Mostly just amazed that there is other Loxodons out there, because my father, the one I'm used to, has told me that I was kind of alone in that situation, so this is all pretty interesting.
Momentarily after smoking the substance, Timon, you do begin to feel a little bit drowsy, and if you want to go to sleep for the rest of the 2 or 3 hours of this morning now with the sun having come up, you can.
Yeah, I collapse.
Arkmir, you're lounging about, maybe take like a short nap or whatever. Kaldir, towards the end of your watch.
end of my watch or sleep?
End of
Or
your trance.
Trance, yeah.
What you're used to seeing in your trance, in most cases, is this almost
little better.
purplish smoke that represents nothingness all around you. And that has been what you've seen when you've meditated for years. There have been moments where you've seen creatures potentially within this, but all in that strange form. And that's a very recent discovery that's been happening. Otherwise, it's mostly just been sort of like purple, willowy smoke. And you've been able to form it into shapes that you've used in order to analyze
Yeah.
what happened during the day, so on and so forth. It's always been things that you've been able to control. Towards the end of your watch, the smoke in your vision begins to almost whip around you. Almost as though there's a wind that's like blowing around you in a swirling circular motion. The figures that you've been seeing around you, they seem to slowly fade away. And you're just in this roiling purple smoke. The smoke settles a little bit. And you can see in front of you it forming into tall spires. Almost as though a city is being built out of the smoke. You see the city rising up from the ground, and the smoke scatters and it dissipates, and there's just darkness, solid black darkness, and above it, directly above, floating above it, you see the moon, a full moon. And the darkness is sitting there, underneath it. And it slowly grows and grows and grows until it encompasses the moon. And it encompasses you, and it encompasses everything around you. And it's just pitch black darkness. Nothing more. And you snap through and you come out of your trance. You all see, or whoever's awake, big one, you're an Arkmir probably. You see Keltir finishing his trance. Make a wisdom saving throw for me really quickly, just to see if there's any, if you make a visible reaction when you're.
I think I'm going to, because I just feel like naturally it's cocked. 25, but I think I'm going to do something
or
anyways.
even if naturally you do, then that's fine too.
I think normally when I'm in the trance and I'm like kind of just thinking about things and like contemplating and I'm forming things around me, I'm always stationary. Like I'm aware that I'm kind of, not that I'm necessarily like sitting or what I'm doing in the physical like world around me, but I'm just kind of like in a single spot and everything moves around me. But I think with the darkness enveloping the moon and then coming towards me, I would instinctively try to back away, which probably means if I was sitting there, I'd be like...
Yeah.
I haven't been traveling with you long enough, so I'd be like, oh, good morning. I don't know if you actually sleep, but...
Arkmir, you would have noticed.
Yeah, I would take that as abnormal behavior.
Yeah.
Morning.
I got time into sleep.
That's good.
Is
It's the
everything
first time
okay?
you've ever seen Timon sleep with his pants on.
That is accurate.
I could get used to this.
Not accessible.
Is everything okay? You look a little startled.
Yeah, I think I just lost in thought, and I think I let my mind wander a little bit. Sorry, just, yeah. Hasn't happened before. I tend to visualize things while I'm in my trance, try to process things, go over the day, or think about things ahead. It just seems like that time it kind of got away from me.
Has this ever happened before?
No, I don't think so. Not that I remember, anyways.
Do you want some of the grass I gave to Timon to calm your mind?
No, I'm all right, thanks.
Okay.
No, just a bit startled. But I think
I have some tea on if you would like some tea.
Sure, yeah, it would be nice.
Finish making my morning tea. Mr. Arkmir, would you like some?
Yes, please. Yeah.
There's only enough for two, sorry.
Astra
I'm just kidding, I pull out a third cup.
steps out of her bedroll, gives like a nice big stretch. Yes, please.
Okay.
2 sugar.
I don't carry sugar, but
I'm sure I can find some sugar for you the next time we're in
Oh.
town.
that's okay. I don't need it.
We got some flour?
Yeah,
We do have some expired flour. I don't know how it got in my bag, but there is some expired flour.
That's true.
He might be out for a little bit longer. I'm not quite sure.
How was the rest of the night? Or morning, I
It
suppose.
seemed fine. Wrote some notes. Did some studying. Not really any sound. I didn't hear anything. Once he fell asleep, it was pretty quiet. Other than that,
Yeah. That's, you get used to it. Kind of comforts you a little bit, actually.
quite pleasant, actually.
How was your... We didn't really get a chance to talk, but you roamed the house a little bit.
I did, but I feel like we should talk about your night first.
Yeah, I mean, Shay wanted to have a conversation with me. I think...
You guys all had all these conversations and hung out with the vampire while I was asleep? That's
You
not...
just looked so pleasant. I wasn't awake either. But
I
on
feel
that,
left out.
You know,
You guys had a soiree all without me?
you snooze, you lose.
it's true.
That's true.
On that
It's
subject,
okay, at least Hoku didn't... she opens the bag and Hoku's not there.
He's gone.
I'm still not convinced that creature is real. But on that subject, our friend Tymond here was pretty adamant that I don't know. He said something about you making a deal with a vampire queen or something, and that we were in serious danger. I don't really know. And then he said you joined, and he was left
Simon, you
alone.
do find yourself waking up, even with the conversations and stuff happening, and the smell of tea. Like, even though you only have had a little bit of sleep, you still...
Do we complete a long rest?
Yes.
Hell yeah, brother. It's lower. You're okay. You're safe.
Rats. This place is going to be the death of me.
Well, we were actually just discussing that, what our next steps might be.
Yeah, well, let's hope that's not the case, but I do think we may want to move on from here, unless there's a reason somebody has to want to stay. I mean, it's not unknown to everyone that this Karis individual is, well...
Didn't sound very pleasant.
No, and it sounds like this may have been at some point or another their home, or at least a base of operation to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
I feel the longer we stay here, potentially if he is trying to scry on us, us being here may not be a good idea, especially when we know so little about him and, well, vampires in general.
And he looks a lot like you.
I mean, that is actually why Shay wanted to speak to me. She felt like I would have answers about this Karis, who he is, how she could defeat him. As much as I can get from her, it does sound like she is trying to get away from her master.
And you don't know anything about this Karis?
I've never heard of him before in my life.
Do I believe him?
Inside check.
Make an inside check, both of you.
I guess I need to roll regardless of what I'm
Yep.
doing.
Roll either of those.
Not 20.
18. Natural.
I don't know him. I'm not trying to lie. Yeah. He's still lying. It sounds like she is somewhat desperate. And that, I mean, honestly, I'm going off of what she told me, but it sounds like him being her master gives him control over her. Power that she has no way of, like, I guess, undermining unless he was to be eliminated. But it doesn't sound as simple as find him and kill him.
Why doesn't she go away? Like, she'll stay in his house. Or
I don't think it's
whatever.
that simple. I think anywhere she went, he would be able to find her. I think she prefers to be here. As Gregor.
So what does she want us? What's our next steps? I mean,
She is asking that we help her in any way possible in ridding this world of Garrus.
did she give us a place to start? I mean, she mentioned some place out in the water or something. You mentioned it's on the map.
There was a lake.
The lake, yeah.
Yes.
Lake Linvenham.
Yep.
Linvenham.
Linvanum.
Do we
She
do we
did.
want to go
She
there?
also she mentioned that it was a very long time ago that he was there, and that she doesn't know actually where he operates out of
I mean,
now.
maybe his heart is in a jar, and all we have to do is go kill the jar.
Is that how vampires
I don't know.
work?
My father told me scary stories. But he intentionally meant to scare me.
We also know at some point he did at least operate somewhat in Sylthia, given that's where Shay was from.
Well, that's where we're headed.
That's where we were heading. I'm not sure. I don't know if we still want. Well, I'm fine to head there. I just didn't know if anybody
Does
wanted
she-
to change course.
Did she make it seem like we could take on this vampire lord now, or are we a
No.
little underprepared?
She makes him sound extremely powerful.
So maybe going
running
to
at
his
him head
potential
on is-
place of residency at that
Yes.
lake might not be the best.
Also, as much as I do want to trust her, and I believe a lot of what she is saying, I don't think I want to be in the business of just listening to a vampire that says go kill someone else. I think we need to learn more about the situation and learn who this Karis person is.
That was so cool. God damn.
There's also the danger of, I mean, Shay seems very trustful, but I'm also not sure what could be potentially unleashed.
Yes, I tried to be forward with her in asking about Karis's ability to control her and what that would mean should it happen.
Also, what happens if we take out this Karis fellow and then she assumes his position and becomes big bad evil?
I don't know. This,
Can we not run towards the big bad vampire, please?
I don't think we want to do that.
It sounds like he's from Sylvia, or at least has had some
Well, he's been there. at
dealings.
least.
We have some business of our own there.
Mhm.
I still think that's probably primary destination numero uno.
I do think
Hmm.
while we go there, we should try to learn more
A little
about
bit
this
more.
individual. Perhaps we can even learn more about Shay, given that's where she was from. And if we find anything that potentially can help her that we deem wouldn't put us or
Harm's
anyone
way.
else in harm, then we can share that with her.
Did she have any mentors or professors or people in Syltia who
I
could
think
vouch
she
for
mentioned
her?
the school that she was at.
She did say the school. Aye.
Is that the Coffin Academy?
Syncrophic.
Syncrophic.
SYNC.
Oh yeah, I have it here. Syncrophic Academy.
ROPHIC.
Yeah. She went to the Syncrophic
SYNC.
Academy
I remember.
200 to 300 years ago.
Syncrophic Institute of Magic. Or
Prophet.
Academy of Magic.
That's what I said.
One of those of magic.
Syncrophic?
Syncrophic.
I don't know what this name is. We have to leave. Dash, he hates ale. Somebody hate ale? Who was that?
It was Gregor.
Oh, we have to leave.
I don't trust him.
Yeah, we have to leave.
There are other things we can discuss
That
perhaps
is true.
along the way,
We
but
believe he hates ale.
if we are going to make this journey, we probably want to get out of these woods as quickly as possible. So we probably would want to head soon while we have daylight.
We should probably head now then.
Looking out, it's a bright, sunny day. Clear sky. You can hear in the distance some birds chirping.
Is Gregor outside? Like if I look out the window, is he doing anything outside?
You don't
or
see him from
no? Okay.
here.
Is
Make a
everybody-
perception check.
Is everybody
This
prepared
dice
for
been
a
fucking me
journey?
over tonight, so I use this one.
We should have lots of food.
Okay, that's better. Dirty 20.
You don't see or hear Gregor, but off in the distance you do see movement between the trees.
Is it like really quick, jarring movement, or
No,
okay?
not, it's like slow.
Horror movie.
Yeah.
movement.
Okay.
It's almost certainly not going to be an easy journey.
No.
I mean, Elmer warned us of the further we go, the worse it gets before getting to.
Well, we've already been running into some of that.
And then
I
on
think.
top of that, once we get to the desert, we're trekking through a desert.
Yes.
So everybody stop. We have lots of food. We gathered some from Elmer.
As
We
Yes.
have items.
lacking of taste as it might be, I am able to
Sure.
help us with provisions.
Astra, are you ready?
On
for-
that note, I'm going to also start
Ready to go?
preparing.
Okay.
some-
Preparing some food.
Yeah.
Is that's your little bird
Doesn't take long. 'cause
dragon
It's not a
fellow,
ritual.
right?
Yeah, he's
Wow.
not.
I haven't
around.
heard
Bringing
Hoku.
Jen over to snack.
I haven't heard him since we
Okay.
got here. Actually,
What happened to him?
I don't know if he's not here.
does he normally disappear like this?
No,
Do you have any
Oh,
way
maybe.
of calling him back?
Maybe.
I mean, he has disappeared.
he
before.
does sometimes, I guess.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just worried.
You usually do the weird thing where you like your eyes will roll back to your skull. Can you do that?
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And she begins to like do that, and she closes her eyes, and her eyes roll back. I don't know where he is.
Did you see where? Like through his eyes?
Yeah,
What did you see?
nothing.
Inside check.
I don't think you
Play Alyssa, you play Alyssa very well.
Oh,
14.
21.
to roll.
9.
I don't think you need to roll. No, that's just not being entirely truthful.
Yeah.
I know-
Okay. He was there. That
The tower?
the tree that we've been seeing.
Oh.
A tree. The purple
the
tree.
purple-
The purple tree. He was there.
Hoku was there.
Where now?
Yeah.
What was he doing there?
I don't know.
Wait, have you been there before, or have you just seen it?
Just seen him.
Was he just sitting on the tree? Was he shitting on the tree? Was he?
No, he was just
talking
looking
to somebody?
around.
Was there any other bird with him?
No. I don't even know what I saw. It felt so strange. It didn't feel like anywhere that I've been.
How did he get there?
So what were we talking
I just asked if you were ready to continue traveling, but is this something we should be worried about? Can you call him back?
about? Call who back?
Hoku?
Oh, Hoku, he should be right. Wait, where's Hoku? Have any of y'all seen Hoku?
Oh no.
Last you just said that he was looking at the tree.
That doesn't make any sense. He should be right here in my bag.
Inside check.
Make an insight check.
I'm gonna do a detect magic to see if I see anything kind of like around her that's not
Okay.
just like magical items.
Yep.
14.
Are you ritual casting?
No, I'm doing it right away.
Does she appear any different visibly?
I mean, she seems discombobulated.
Okay.
But she doesn't look any different at all. Sorry, what were you? What did you roll?
14.
She seems discombobulated, but she doesn't seem like she's lying or anything. She's not very good at lying. So, with detect magic, you don't notice anything strange or
No.
anything that you're not used to seeing around her.
Are you feeling okay? Did you have a good night's sleep?
No, I do have a bit of a headache.
Oh.
Can you see where Hoku is right now?
I can try. Hold up. And she does the same thing
Perhaps
again.
if it happens again, this is the
Her
last
eyes.
time we
Oh,
get her
yeah.
to do this.
It's for science.
She opens her eyes and he's just flying around outside.
Oh,
And all of a sudden you see like a figure just appear outside the window. A folk who just like trying to peck at the window to like be let in.
okay.
And she runs over and she opens the window. There you are. Where'd you go? Where'd you get off to? How'd you get out there? The window was closed. And she just like runs over and stuffs him into the backpack. Closes the back. Puts the backpack on.
Shoves them in there.
Alright, I'm good to go now.
Really quickly, just to see if I noticed it or not. When she forgot, did it look like it looked like something just kind of happened in her head, or that she like snapped back like almost in time?
Make perception check.
Fucking fuck. Natural one.
It's kind of hard to tell. She had to like close her eyes and was like holding her head a little bit, and she
Okay.
looks the same.
Are you sure you're ready to travel?
Yeah, I should be fine. Sometimes I have these headaches in the morning and they go away when I get out under the fresh sun.
Actually, kind of sounds like Alyssa, but if you notice anything, please let us know. We don't want to overwork you. Okay. Any last minute preps? Are you gonna be okay?
I need a still or a big jar or something, because I need to make myself some ale.
Okay. We have this one from previous. It's probably a little dirty, but
Works.
okay.
Also, all of our containers and stuff were filled with water, and there is just packs of really bland food all available for us now.
You all gather your stuff, open the door, head downstairs. You don't see Gregor anywhere, but the door both into the basement and into the kitchen are both open. The parlor door is open. A lot of the doors are open. The entire area seems to be being aired out almost. In fact, even the door out is open and the chilly wind is coming in.
Can I go back to the kitchen?
Mhm.
Because I helped Gregor prepare that meal.
Yeah.
Are there any grains around?
Yeah, there would be some.
Preferably expired.
They are almost definitely old and expired because they haven't grown them themselves.
Okay.
They've probably gotten them from somewhere, but grains last very long, so
Yeah.
you should be fine.
So I will see if I can grab a sack of barley if they have it.
Yeah, you can find nothing is abundant enough that there would be a full sack.
Okay.
You'd probably only find like maybe a couple of handfuls of barley.
Can I find a sack of potatoes?
Again, you probably wouldn't find. Actually, potatoes you might find a lot of because they've grown them themselves. So there might be a stash of potatoes that is quite sizable. But grain in particular would require a lot more to grow that much amount, so they would not have that much of it.
Okay, so I'll grab a bag of potatoes if I can.
Yeah.
If it's not going to be like
No,
leave
you
them
do find
without.
in the pantry buried under, along in the same cabinet as like a large sack of onion and some jarred and tinned preserved vegetables. You do find a sack of potatoes.
Okay. All right, this will do. So I leave behind 2 gold pieces and a note saying, "Sorry, I needed some potatoes for the brew."
Little potato ale.
Can we head out?
So we don't see Gregor anywhere? Oh, other than when I saw somebody on the line that may have been him.
Yeah,
Okay.
it might have been him. But as you exit from the front, you can definitely hear some noise of garden work happening on the opposite side from where you were.
I see.
And where you were looking. So it was that was probably not him. The movement that you saw was probably not him.
So they're in.
Werewolves.
It was the child of the monkey thing.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Combination.
have? Oh,
Do you go towards like in the direction of where he's working? Or do you just-
How far away is he?
it's not far.
Then I
This
would go-
entire,
I
like,
would
the
go that
estate
way.
grounds or the manor grounds are probably only like 100 to 200 feet.
I just
wide.
want to let him know that we're heading out.
Sure.
Shay, I imagine, is sleeping.
Should let her rest.
Go inside. It's so dark in here. Open.
Oh, God.
Wake up, Shay.
You head over to where this like small plantation almost of sorts is. There's a few hardy like winter roots that are planted, and you can see Gregor tending them. He's got on like not the suit that he was wearing before, but almost like simpler gardening clothes. Has like a wide brimmed hat to
Nice.
protect his very pale white skin. Just on his hands and knees, just clearing out some of the fallen leaves from the roots. He notices you all and stands up. Oh, good morning. I hadn't noticed. I'd noticed you all that were sleeping in. It was a long night. Would you like some breakfast, or
Oh.
it seems like you're preparing to leave?
Yes, we're on our way.
Oh.
Just wanted to let you know that we were heading.
Hmm.
We did speak with Shay last night.
Oh, that's good.
Should there be anything, I imagine she has the means to reach out to us. We are heading south.
Thank you for letting us stay.
I grabbed a sack of potatoes.
Oh, that's perfectly fine.
I left some coin back. Sorry, I need to make some spud brows.
It's okay. It's appreciated. Coin will probably not be of much use to us. If you'd like to keep it, you can. That's not a problem.
Is there anything else that I can leave that can help?
It's not necessary. It's not needed. We have we had a large crop of potatoes, so I'm sure we can spare some.
Thank you.
Go get your coin.
It was very nice meeting you. I learned a lot.
Likewise. I was hoping to. You'd mentioned that you were looking to potentially meditate some today and learn on runes, but it's okay. I'm sure the ways of the runes and the runic order seem to come better from within anyway. So,
Is there anything that I can do to reach that within?
The way that myself and my people have always, or those few that I know who use similar powers, have learned has been through meditation and through becoming one with the world around and within us. So
I have a very troubled mind, and I have no ale to calm it down.
But you've got some
Oh.
pot.
well, have you ever? He's not laughing. I'm laughing. Have you ever seen a waterfall? No. A cold waterfall, preferably.
Player talk. I'm gonna guess probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
If you ever find a cold waterfall, simply stand underneath it. Preferably without your armor on. I find it does wonders for clearing the mind.
Well, I've always been kind of scared of water, but
It does wonders for clearing your mind.
all right. Before we go, do you know anything about Aganas?
It's a good ice cream.
All I know is that he's the god of destruction, and apparently had something to do with the red lightning storms that occur. Or maybe that's just been attributed to him over the years.
Though,
I'm not truly much of a divine person. I don't really.
so you're not devout. You didn't get your runes by devotion to anything.
Mostly through introspection, finding the words that mean the most to me. Finding the words that bring me power and hope and peace. There's great power in words, but only to the words that hold great meaning to you.
How do you find your peace?
Standing underneath a waterfall does wonders for you. But also finding a home, finding people who care about you and want to keep you safe. Finding purpose in life. All of those things helped me. When I was younger, my main focus was always drive, ambition, to be better, to be stronger, to make wealth, to bring prosperity to me, my family, my people. As I've grown older, I've learned sometimes it's more rewarding to protect what I've been lucky enough to find in this world.
Perhaps that's why I find you so different. You see, I spent my life protecting my sister and my family, and it was when that was taken away from me is that I started to have these things happen. But can't say that it is when I'm at peace. It's when it's roiling inside of me.
That's interesting. I wish I knew more to be able to help you, but that's simply how I've managed to draw out power. Perhaps there are other ways to lend energy and power to these runes that I have not discovered yet, or that are somehow different. But I do remember being in your shoes, chasing after something, needing to discover or having a goal to work towards. I found myself grow much stronger, keeping in mind of what the world would be if I stopped. You see, when I was focused on a goal, it was all about the goal, and I didn't know what I would be once I achieved the goal. Simply that I was going after something, that I needed to find something, I needed to do something, without any care about what would happen after. Sometimes the best thing and the worst thing is getting what you want most, because then you have nothing else pushing you. And sometimes that can help you find peace, but sometimes it just brings more restlessness. It took a long time for me to realize that nobody around me genuinely cared for me, except for, I think he looks pointedly back at the manor. I hope you find a place of belonging and peace.
Thank you. Player talk. Did he say that he personally met Constantine, or was
No,
it
he's
just
never
his
personally met him.
Okay.
He'd heard stories from his people and the people he learned from.
the clan?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Farewell.
Take care.
Thank you once again for letting us stay here.
The pleasure was all ours. We haven't had guests in a very long time, so.
I've heard some words of parting, and I'm wondering if it means anything to you to say, "May the eye of the storm watch over you."
It's an interesting choice of words. The eye of the storms that pass never pass over here, so perhaps we're in it.
All right. Well, thank you for your hospitality.
Once again, the pleasure was ours.
Perhaps we will cross paths again.
In fact, if you'd like to repay the potatoes, then you come back if you can bring some of the rare and sweet delicacies from Sylvia. I'm sure my mistress would miss some of them. She hasn't visited back home in quite some time.
Yes, out there.
Vampires eat normal food.
You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You've been feeding us.
All the food I've been making is just
There's
been
these
blood.
delicious
pudding.
plums coated in chocolate that they sell there that are quite the delicacy.
All right.
Hmm. Is there a best path to head to get out of these woods to the south?
I personally haven't really gone down there, but I imagine if you keep heading south, eventually you'll find a way. I don't think there's any rivers or anything that you can follow.
Okay.
No, I don't. There aren't really many paths through these woods.
Aren't you from Sylvia?
Hmm?
Did you come from Sylvia?
I mean, yeah, but not in a long time. I haven't left the grounds much recently.
Any tips for the path that we should take to Sylvia?
Oh, to Siltia, not out of the woods. Okay. Get out of these woods as quickly as possible. Spend as much of your time on the grassy plains as opposed to the
That's
desert.
what Elmer said, yeah.
Yeah.
If you see and this is mostly what I've heard from my mistress, if you start to see off in the distance a steep cliffside, head the other way. It means you're approaching the lake and the ruins of Linwanham, and those are a haunted and terrifying place that I believe Karis has a lot of interest in, so do not recommend continuing down further south straight past that. I myself don't really know what's there, but I would recommend avoiding that. Once you're in the desert, it is generally better to travel by night. By daytime, you're usually wide open and very visible to any of the predators or any of the roving bandit nomad groups that travel through there. If you feel the ground shaking underneath you, it's probably because the ground is about to fall away and you're about to be buried under sand, so figure out a way to not be trapped under a sandslide.
If we come across Clan Deadwood, what is there anything we can say so they don't kill us?
I'm
Tell
sure.
them you like waterfalls.
I'm sure if you mention my name, they should be at least amenable to listen to you.
What's your last name? You're just Gregor?
Gregor Ixia.
Ixia?
Is that with an I or an E?
Ixia.
It's lovely.
It's a cool name.
Well, we better be on our way.
Yes.
You probably, if you're staying out of the woods themselves, which again, if you go that far south, you've probably gone too far, and you probably have been near Lakeland Monham. I doubt you'd encounter any of my people. They tend to stay within the woods.
Mhm.
Though you might find other roaming nomad tribes that, let's just say, some of them would not take too kindly to the mention of Clan Deadwood, so I would recommend not mentioning it.
southward.
Yeah.
And start traveling.
You head towards the gate and the fence sort of enclosure. Push it open, head out into it's sunny and bright and cheerful morning, but it's still cold.
Right.
You still have to bundle up a little bit. You begin to head in a southerly direction. Who is leading the way?
I mean, I would probably be near the front, but
I'm typically to the front, but you always do like a scouting thing. So I think probably Calthier and I near the front, and then wherever.
usually.
Oh, there it is.
You're like scouting somewhere.
Well, I go up the trees and stuff. Like, we're still heading there. Right away.
Okay. Whoever's leading the way can make a survival check.
Probably best if you're doing the survival.
Oh, rip.
I mean, I can assist potentially from the ground.
It was so good until it wasn't.
Should I
If
assist
you're
or roll
proficient in
separately?
it, you can roll. You can either roll separate. Or
I am not
give advantage.
proficient. I have a high survival, but I'm not proficient.
You should roll separate.
I don't know if I can.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
You should roll with.
No, I don't know if I can roll at all. Yeah.
Oh. That was a 6.
We're at the lake.
It's your travel is slowed because you keep you're almost consistently having to go in directions to get around things where you feel like you're diverting off course. So you're taking a lot of time to climb up the trees
And course
carefully,
correct.
course
Yeah.
correct, make sure you're still heading in the right
I
direction.
will.
Sorry, guys. A little left this time.
I will keep my keen smell up
Mhm.
to make sure we're not getting anywhere close to bodies of water. I'm assuming that the water has a distinct, whether it's salt smell or what. Coastlines.
If the body of water is large enough, it would smell.
Yeah, like you. So I mean, it's probably
Well,
hard to, but
you-
it just like.
You've looked at the map.
Yeah.
The lake is a long way.
Okay.
off.
Well, I don't know.
Like,
With a 6, we're
there's
probably
a-
halfway there. Yeah.
There's a massive stretch of
Okay.
grassy plains.
All I'm
between
saying is I'm
you
keeping my
and-
keen smell open for different weird scents.
Yeah.
What if it's
Yes,
a waterfall?
Blood,
Make a
anything.
perception check. for me.
Blood, weird, swampy areas.
Perception.
Oh.
That's a natural 20 for 23.
You're at the lake.
Yeah.
You're
In
definitely
fact,
at the lake.
It's hard, really hard, to miss. And Calthair, perhaps even you pick it up occasionally, but not as frequently as you with your keen smell. Sometimes, as the wind rushes in like a particular direction, you can smell the faint smell of rotting, decaying corpses on the air.
Yeah.
And it reminds you of the wolves that
Yeah.
you fought prior. It smells almost identical to them.
I don't want to be a cause for alarm, and this is probably expected along this path, but I do smell decaying flesh. Whether it's animals, hopefully it's animals. I mean, that's better than decaying people. But
I've caught whiffs of it as well. It's not pleasant.
we probably want to just at least be a little more on guard, perceptive.
Who wants to roll a d20 for an encounter table?
You have the destiny die out.
Yeah, we'll just go in a circle. This is going to be a long trip, so we'll start
For your
with
first
you.
day of travel.
Yeah.
8.
White dragon.
No, you're still fairly close to the manor, and it's her and her presence,
Scare off
in the
anything.
presence of the power that is either her sire or where she is. Her influence seems to extend into these woods that you're traveling through. And it leaves it mostly safe, or perhaps it's the undead scent that you've been smelling has been keeping. Something's been keeping the way relatively safe for you. And your travel throughout the day today is you started fairly late in the morning. You don't make as much progress as you would have liked, but you're fairly confident that it was as safe as you can make it. Then you don't come across anything
Good roll.
too
Nice eight.
specific. The vicinity around you is almost completely the same. Just woods, just dark, or not dark, brightly lit, sunny woods. As the sun begins to set in the evening, you've made a reasonable amount of progress towards the edge of the woods, but
Oh, I made it.
You're not there. As the sun begins to set, is there anything you want to do along the day, or as you set up camp for tonight?
So, well, yeah, so that's what I did want to ask. Can we, like, if you go up, if you spot a tree that looks a little tall, can you get a sense of, like, how far the tree line is?
You'd have... It's hard to find a tree that's, like, that much taller than the rest
Than
of the trees
others.
around it to be able to get that.
Go
if you could
higher.
fly up higher, or Astra can send Hoku up, and he can
Sure.
fly up
Oh,
much
yeah.
farther and take a
Okay.
look.
Okay, go take a look.
It's probably another couple of days.
Oh, fuck,
Uh,
okay.
Out of the forest?
Yeah, they said it was.
Yeah.
They said
We
it
knew
was
it was
like
far.
4 or 5 days to the edge of
was-
the forest.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Shit.
It's probably another couple of days, and the amount of distance that you've traveled so far today was less than what you expected.
Way to go.
Sorry, guys.
It's all right.
It is a lot slower, but you can see off in the distance the tree line ending and the grassy plain
Right.
almost beginning. And she tells you this. Probably going to be another couple of days here in the woods. She also does notice that while there isn't particularly any rivers or anything flowing, there are, like, the land here is hilly in many ways, and she's able to guide a path so that you don't have to go clambering over hills to slow stuff down, so you will have
Right.
advantage on your survival check
Okay.
for the next
You have
I
advantage
guess-
on the next roll?
I don't know if we see if we can try to spot.
unless you want to climb to the top of the hill, because there would be better visibility. Like, she points out a couple of potential paths.
We know we're
one
days
that's going
off,
up
then
through the hill, one that's going almost like a little around, but through a little bit more winding, but a less stressful path. I'll roll a perception check for Hoku as well. Hoku does notice that so there's these two hills that she's like that are straight along your path, one to the right and one to the left. The right one's closer to you. Hoku does notice movement and almost like some sort of small encampments or a settlement type thing built near the top of the right hill, the one that's closer to you. The one that's probably, if you wanted to head towards it, you could get to tomorrow.
Don't know if we want.
More friends?
Yeah, I feel like we've gotten a little too lucky with the people that we've encountered in these woods. Perhaps we camp at a distance and keep to the left,
From a distance.
away from that settlement, at least for now.
I agree.
I will be able to, hopefully it continues to be somewhat useful, put up the dome. Though we now know that there are those who can dismiss it. Hopefully anybody out here, maybe wildlife, it will at least.
Hopefully not.
I'm wondering, just taking a look around, saying maybe if there's any larger like rock formations or anything that we can set up camp
Duck in.
against. Just something better positioned should the worst arise.
Makes sense.
See if we can find something like that without spending too long.
Just make a survival check for me or a perception
With
check.
advantage, right?
Well,
That's
not,
for
this is
the
different.
first
the
thing.
feeling. Okay.
Actually, just make a survival check. not a
Survival?
perception, no.
13.
Yours is good.
Did you also?
No, mine wasn't very. It was 11.
Okay.
My best roll today.
You find a like fairly sizable boulder. That's it's almost like a little clearing around the boulder. It doesn't seem like it would provide much in the way of shelter, but it is like a little bit of a clearing that you can use to set up your camp. It's the closest thing that you can find within
As long as
like,
we can.
this hour of the sun setting.
Yeah. I think as long as we have somewhere that's like relatively even ground for that would cover like most of the dome, I think that's probably good enough.
Yeah.
So we can probably look to set that.
You begin working on ritually casting the
Mhm.
dome. Is there anything else that you all would like to do, or as you prepare to camp for the night?
I would like to try some brew.
Yeah, you can get to work.
Some brewing. So I cut my potatoes and I put them in the jar, and then I get a little bit of moss and whatnot, and then I put it into to add some spice. A little bit of a starter that I have, and I throw it in, and water. Put some water in it.
Just make a not a thief's tools, like brewer's kit, like tools proficiency check.
Let me check if I'm proficient.
I am.
Where do I see if I'm proficient?
Right here, under tools.
Also,
That's
given that there is potentially a camp nearby, we should probably make sure that any fire is put out as we are starting to sleep for the night. The dome will protect us from the cold.
Yes, I am
So we should.
Will the dome?
proficient with brewer supplies.
I guess. Would it hide the element of the fire, or would it?
The
No.
dome
The smoke
is
would.
opaque, but we might just smoke ourselves out. But we shouldn't need the fire. It's dry and mild inside the dome, regardless of
Right.
where we set it.
The dome is
it should be
opaque?
+3. I
It-
believe.
Maybe from the
yeah.
outside,
Because
people
we're
can see
level
it.
8.
They can see the dome, but they won't be able to see inside.
Gotcha. Oh,
I don't
didn't
see
know
You
it.
can
that.
make the
Yeah,
outside
it's
look
yours should be +3.
roughly.
I can make it look like white if we're in snow.
Ah,
So it'll just blend in. They'll just be
It'll
this
look like a pretty
perfectly
smooth-
spherical, smooth
Yeah.
white dome.
It was
Um,
clearly magical in some nature, but
I'm gonna spend some time attuning to the bladed word.
nice. You also do have a small hilt that you grabbed from the armory downstairs.
Yes. Oh yeah. Can I spend some time? I guess identifying.
I guess
this,
I
or?
didn't remember to put it into D&D Beyond, but do you spend some time? You said you spent some time identifying.
Yes.
Um,
Let's see.
It's strange. It essentially is a blade. You can focus on it in order to make a blade of wind, like sharp cutting wind that forms. And you can make it whichever length you want it to be. You can make it as long as you want it to be.
Yeah.
So it can be either a dagger, a short sword, a long
my
sword, a
goodness.
rapier.
You can make it really long or really girthy and
It could even be. You could even use it. Actually, you couldn't use it as a two-handed sword, but it can be any of the one-handed blades that you would
I
like
see.
it to be
Short
for the
sword,
particular
long sword, rapier,
environment.
scimitar,
Can the tip be
dagger,
wider?
Chris, stiletto.
But it would it essentially is a sword of cutting wind. But I
Cutting
haven't,
wind.
or a blade of cutting wind, but I have not put it in D&D Beyond yet.
Archer's always
So you will not be able to find it.
passing wind.
Yeah.
The interesting part of it is also that it can be concealed very easily because it is simply a hilt. So it is very useful for covert operations. It's meant as sort of like a blade of nobility.
I rolled a natural 19 on the
Nice.
proficiency.
Yeah.
I don't know what I add to it. Like I add the proficiency bonus. As
I think it was,
as I am
it's a
proficient.
combination of your dexterity and your proficiency bonus if you are proficient in it.
I am proficient with the brewer's kit
Yeah.
by my background, so
Yeah.
that's a +3.
Yeah. And then your dexterity
Proficiency is
bonus,
3.
whatever that is.
And then my dex is +1. So total 23.
You're fairly confident that you followed all the instructions, and perhaps it's because you're outside. You've gotten relatively fresh ingredients, like in the moss and stuff that you were looking for. The potatoes seem to be pretty like as you cut through them, they're really high quality, very well grown organic potatoes, grown by Gregor himself, essentially. As you probably figured that they don't really get many supplies from anywhere else. You think this will be a pretty solid batch.
Nice.
You're pretty confident. It smells really good.
That smells good, guys. I have
It
a
smells
good
as good
feeling
as
about
fermenting alcohol smells. I don't actually know. I think or know that it smells
Probably
like
smells
moss.
But-
It's great.
as somebody who has very little exposure to brewing alcohol, it smells good. Ish. I don't
Put
know.
it on the tub. Can't go wrong.
Back home we bathe in this.
Is there
Part of the
anything-
starter.
Yeah.
Anything that the rest of you all want to do as the sun
Taste
sets,
it.
the
Yeah, eating
darkness
really bland
seems
bread.
to rise.
I'm just feeding Jen some of the. I think. Did you have carrots as well or something?
There's like really, it looks like there's a lot of different types of things,
Yeah,
but
they
they all
all
kind of taste the same.
Yeah. So I'm just still grabbing the little carrot. Going over to Jen.
You need to eat.
Jen is very happy to not be in the house anymore. Outside, you can see her like playing in the like cold grass. There isn't any snow anymore on the ground, which is good. It's not super cold and frosty anymore,
Right.
which does the sun from above has melted a lot of it.
Nice.
And you're fairly confident that the rest of your travel will continue to be mostly temperate.
Nice.
As you turn, you prepare to camp, you begin to set up the dome. Make a perception check for me.
Okay, those two have been shit, which means this one will also be shit. 15.
Just probably out of the corner of your eye, you notice up in the sky above you, there's this like flowing like energy and light that's just like the aurora is essentially happening. The equivalent of that. It's relatively faint, but it looks very beautiful.
Look, everyone.
As the sun sets, the moon is out in the sky. It's almost a full moon.
Look, everyone.
Just past it.
Much better.
It's a beautiful starry night sky,
Nice.
clear, with these strange shimmering green and purple lights across the sky. It's actually oddly peaceful and calming, especially after your harrowing night the night before for some of you. A welcome reprieve. So
Did we come across any creatures today? Any animals of any kind?
Nope. You heard birds in the trees around. Like you heard some chirping noises and sounds like that. So there were animals around, but you didn't come across any of them.
This is better. It's a good sign, guys.
Are the pants
There's
on or off tonight?
birds. Oh, definitely off.
Potatoes are great. The birds are chirping.
Birds are chirping.
Jen is just running around.
I was thinking of sending a message to, oh my god, Harriet? That's her name, right?
Harriet.
That's a name.
Yeah,
Okay.
Harriet. To see how Schema is doing, how they're doing. Last we saw, we had left them
Yes.
when we took that rift to that dragon.
I was actually thinking we should message, what's her name? Middle-earth kid.
Lara?
Lyra.
I was going to message
I
one
wonder
of the two
if
of
she is
them.
still in the cavern waiting for us to come back.
Well, they were there together.
Yeah.
I was going to, regardless of which I messaged, ask how the other is doing. Harriet at least had some leadership position within the city, though I don't know if that still holds.
And Lara doesn't know that her dad is dead.
I did send a letter. I did use one of the magical...
Clanko's conversing cards.
I did use one of those. to try to explain what happened as best I could in the few words I had.
Alright, okay.
But at least this way we can just hear from them and see if it's alright.
Mhm.
Oh jeez, there was also... What's her face who showed up at...
Cassandra?
Yeah,
Cassandra.
Cassandra. God damn it.
A lot of ladies in your life you gotta catch up.
We don't talk about Drew anymore.
Hold on, let me-
Hey, that's
You could suggest it. There's so many contacts. Let me get out my little black book.
yeah.
Well, I'm going to try to just put out some words to see how people are doing.
How many can you send out?
A few, perhaps. The only thing is, if anything was to take place tonight, I wouldn't want to exhaust the whole of my capabilities just sending messages, but at least a couple would be fine.
One every night until we get there.
I also said that I would message to see how Cassandra was doing when we left, because her player talk, she was with somebody, right? And they were like dead or out.
They died.
Yes. Yes. Not that. Yes, to what you said.
Yeah.
She'd been with someone else. They'd been exploring the lightning rifts,
Yeah.
trying to track down what happened to Ward 8, essentially.
But they got like zapped at it, like exhaustion, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zippity zapped.
And she ended up in the woods near you all.
Yes.
No idea what happened to her companion, but she was, once
Dead.
she'd recovered, she was going to head out and see if she could find any traces of him. I don't remember.
Julius.
It was Julius, and I think it was also Aradoc.
Oh, Julius was missing.
Julius was missing. Aradoc had been with her, but he'd left to try and find already because he wasn't as exhausted, if I
Right.
remember correctly.
Yeah, it does say Cassandra is exhausted and has definitely visibly aged.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna start shooting some messages.
I forget. Did you already message Clanko for me earlier?
What was it about?
I think I had handed you a note and asked if you would be able to reach out to Clanko for me on behalf of just make it like some equipment that he was working on for me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if you
I don't remember.
had or not. No, I think you'd mentioned that you. I think on Monday you had told him that like tomorrow I want you to.
Oh,
do
yeah.
this
You said
for
we
me.
can do
I
it
have
another
something
time.
that I need you to
Okay.
do,
Yeah.
but
Yes,
you haven't
we
followed up
definitely.
with that. But that
Um,
could be another.
So I will first,
What at?
just given the state of them that we last saw, I'll go backwards. So I'm gonna message Cassandra,
What about it?
Okay.
I didn't remember.
and just
It was temporary, so I could make you that as many
Cassandra
times as needed. but
checking in to see how you're
basically
doing.
Like a multi-tool.
We are approaching the edge of the Frostfang Woods towards Silthia. Hope everything is going all right. Has Elmer been able to help you? I assume that's less than
Thanks.
how many.
Feeling much better. Elmer makes wonderful food. Though his company can be a bit grating at times.
How dare you?
You don't hear him say that.
No,
but
no.
I got the
But
inclination,
he
but
basically
in my
says
head,
that.
I just kind of assume that's what.
I've been trying to track down Julius, but no luck so far.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going next.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it at that for now.
Mhm.
I am going to message Harriet.
Okay.
Harriet, I hope you're doing all right. How is Schema? We're in the Frostfang Woods, heading to Silthia. Is Lyra all right?
Whoa.
You technically have 5.
Yeah.
We thought you were dead. We tried to reach out to you for a few days and no response, and we thought you were dead. Is everything all right? Is the big one okay? Are you all okay?
So many questions.
Why that question?
I haven't spoken to Lyra recently, but probably fine. I can. And that's the end of it.
Cuts off.
Yeah, roughly. I'm not counting actual words.
Yeah.
Lyra's gonna be mad that you didn't message her directly.
Mm-hmm.
And a few seconds later, you get a message in your head.
Okay.
Sorry, I talk too much. It's been a few weeks. Lots of work. Very busy. Live at Star's been helping.
Oh, their romance is back on.
Spark Eye seems different. Not sure why, but maybe keep Big One away.
Oh.
Yes, this big one's father came too.
Yeah.
City seems better though.
The
You can
new final
respond to
boss.
that.
Yeah.
Um,
Did that one get pulled through as well? Oh, God.
Noted about Spark Eye. I'll try to message more frequently. Lots happening. Glad things are better. We'll need to tell the full story another time.
It was a crack in the dimension.
I wonder if,
your
like, we
weird
flipped.
dad came.
Like I came through. When he went through. Yeah, like we. Weird. Don't know. Is it messaging anyone else?
I'm messaging your face.
What? Secret message is going the other way?
You all just see Calclear sitting there casting spells.
What you doing?
I sent a
What
message to
are
Spark
the
Eye.
other three of you doing?
Send a message to Spark Eye. My friends told me how cool you are. Can't wait to meet you.
Whoa. Oh no. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Never come back.
Yeah, this night I'm just focusing on my brew.
Just nursing it.
I'm gonna attempt to make a compass.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Don't know how.
Magnets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I have all the materials because of my
Yeah.
arm, but I don't know if he exactly knows how to do it. He would have seen it at some point in his studies.
I broke the DM.
Yeah. He's messaging someone he doesn't want us to know about. Who does he love? Oh, it's definitely vampire chick.
No, Lyra.
Yeah. I don't want the others to know. I'll wait until we're right.
No, you can continue.
Oh, okay. Then I'll let you guys know. I heard from Cassandra. She's feeling better. Elmir is helping her recover. Potentially getting on her nerves a bit.
Seemed weird. He seemed like a lovely man.
He's very nice. She is still trying to track down Julius, but doesn't know have much lead on that, and doesn't know where she's heading next. So I think that's going to be a little bit of unknowingness for a while, but we can try to keep tabs on her and help her if need be. I heard from Harriet. She spoke quite a bit, actually. Messaged me as well to continue it a bit. Due to the nature of these rifts, we knew that time had passed when we came back. They, I guess, tried to contact us in that time, and it didn't work, so... I mean, they ultimately thought the worst and thought we were dead. But it sounds like things are going well. Libidstar is with her and helping to, I guess, try to get the city back to normal. It's going somewhat well, it seems. I guess her and Lyra were trying to reach out to us, but I guess more recently she hasn't spoken with her, so perhaps tomorrow or another day I'll try to reach out to her as well.
Calther, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Oh, shit. See, I tried to break the DM, and this is how he punished it. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, no.
10.
While he's talking about this, you just see him stop momentarily and like you get a message. He just stops in the middle of a sentence and he's not able to like hide the fact that
Oh no, it's happening to him too. He's gonna forget everything he just told us.
Calter?
Calther?
Calter?
How do we plug him back in?
I'm just like,
Calter? Wait, do we still have the rock that Shay gave us? The hiding rock?
yeah, I held it onto that. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to make a compass.
Oh, nice.
I'm assuming sometime in his studies he would have seen it. I don't know if he'll be able to do it, but I know I have all the components because of my arm.
Yeah, just make
a
like
little magnet.
Make
Get the
like
little
a
thing.
tool proficiency, probably Tinker's tool.
So if
proficiency
it's
check.
not tinkering, I have right tool for the job, so I gain
Oh, nice.
advantage on it.
Okay.
Well, I don't know why I said if it's
Tool
not
for the
tinkering.
job.
Anything, I have tools for the right job, which is proficiency on any tool check. Yeah. Not bad. And it's doubled, so that is actually 24.
You spend the night working away on this.
Like, maybe fucks up a couple times, not getting what I think is north accurate.
Calter? Calter?
Sorry.
Are you
Yes.
alright, lad?
Sorry. Lyra, I will message her tomorrow and see how she's doing.
Are you alright? You kind of paused there.
Yes.
The suspense was killing us.
Sorry, I think I just have a headache and I got lost in my head.
Oh, no.
Do we believe him?
Make an insight check.
God damn it. No, I don't.
He didn't roll
What
great.
did you roll?
It's probably less than whatever you rolled. 4 plus a 1, 5?
Because you rolled a 5. What is your...
It's I got a 4.
So you win.
So
I don't think it takes much to be able to tell that he's hiding something.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's obvious that like I'm trying to kind of. I didn't just get a headache all of a sudden.
Yeah. Plus, you've been acting quite off today. This morning when you were sleeping or meditating,
Oh,
Well,
yes.
you
Upper.
seemed quite startled.
Yes. I think this stuff with Karis is getting to me a little bit.
In what way?
I didn't expect to find anyone who looks like me, who potentially maybe could be connected to me in some way. And I think I've had multiple encounters now with creatures from different planes and totally different histories connect me to this person who apparently is ancient and powerful and evil. And I think it's beginning to haunt me a little bit.
I mean, not to mention when we were in that weird temple, though we were walking around and around and around, there was a statue with your face and your name on it.
Oh, that. Yes. The Seeker, right? Yes.
Do you have a twin brother by any chance? They
No.
come from a big family.
No.
You've never known anyone else that looks like you?
No.
I mean, you and I kind of look similar.
True.
Maybe we're related. You know,
No
no
forgets.
hair, no hair.
Have you ever told us about your
You
family?
don't see it?
Nah.
You've asked before, but I don't really remember.
I see.
Maybe you should get a full night's sleep tonight. I know you typically say you don't need it, but
Yeah.
maybe this is
Can
one.
can you hook him up with some of that
I
stuff?
do have
It was
some
really
grass
good.
from Elmer.
Do you
I
think,
mean, I don't really sleep exactly.
Oh, you might
Maybe
after
you
you
need
have
to.
some of this.
Maybe you need to.
do you think Karis is your papa?
Dad? Well, by the sounds of it, he is. By Shay's actual words, he is ancient. I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean he couldn't be,
Yeah.
but it places him a lot older than I.
Wait. You know your dad?
No, I don't know.
You don't know your dad?
I don't remember.
Karis is his dad.
He thought that Karis could be my dad.
Can you make a wisdom savings?
God damn it! That's better.
Okay.
This is papa.
23.
And then check your message. But this time you're not able to tell that.
Tell us
He's
about your family.
Stopping replying to you momentarily, just briefly.
1 second.
Kaltir?
Does he do this whenever he says
Kalthir?
Karis?
Kaltir? Kaltir?
Are we there yet?
Hey, Kaltir.
Ever since Kalthir got his phone, he's never been the same.
So annoying.
He signed up for that Instagram account.
Yeah.
Things went downhill quickly.
Messaging all his side
You can
bays.
tell that he keeps falling into and being distracted and just like being lost in thought. You're not sure what's happening to him, but something clearly seems off.
Ever since he found out he could start messaging Lyra.
Yeah.
God damn, give me a minute, baby. Sorry, where were we?
You said Kalthir and then paused. Or not Kalthir, Karis.
Karis. Oh, yes.
Same thing.
him?
I know.
Say his name
Still
again?
believing, but every other time is also
Islanders
winning.
just clinched.
So,
How do you say his
yeah.
name?
Karis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Washington also won.
I know.
So
Uh,
Pittsburgh's about to win.
Are you
Pretty
talking
much
with
over.
somebody right now?
what makes you say that?
Well, I mean, I've been able to communicate with people, and sometimes I go, that's not what you're doing right now. You seem a little distracted. You don't have to tell us who, it just seems like you might need a moment.
You could say there's a voice in my head.
A good voice.
Yes.
A sexy voice.
Some might say that.
Do we know this voice?
No.
I don't know a lot of people, so.
Is that the welcome voice?
Yes.
Is it Linvari? Is your god talking with you right now?
I can't tell you much more.
Will she kill me if you tell her?
No, I think not.
It's cool. Burn me!
Can I insight Kaltir to see if he is worried, perturbed, or relieved?
Horny.
Turned on.
Or horny
Yeah.
from
Make an
the
insight check.
from the messages that he seems to be getting.
Do I need to make something?
I am
about,
genuinely
like,
concerned about him.
like,
I got
'Cause I don't
messages online.
okay.
Natural 20 for 25.
I think regardless of what I roll, he's gonna know what he wants to know.
Probably, but this is slightly separate.
You might have a poker face.
It's it's truly like an insight of concern for a friend.
Oh, bam.
Natural 20,
Yeah.
but I do have.
Just tell me.
Okay.
You can message me. And what is your insight roll total?
Total, I think is 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's a combination of.
Yeah,
I
watch
think
this
you.
natural 20.
The
Damn.
biggest thing that you can tell is that he's very curious right now. He's definitely in a heightened state of. You've always known Kalpir to be very curious and taking notes about everything, and one of the key things that you've noticed is, like, you haven't seen him this excited and like almost curiously writing in his notebook about stuff in a very long time.
So he's just sitting there like,
Well, not right now, but more like over the last couple of days.
Open mouth and everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
I also do think that with your role, you pick up the general sense that he's not being entirely honest with you, but he's also not being entirely dishonest with you. Like, there's a mixture of, like, he's being very secretive, for sure, but it doesn't seem like anything to be concerned about, per se. He just likes keeping stuff close to the chest.
Given, like, you beat me on the roll anyways, the way that I would put it is you get the idea that I'm picking my words very carefully. And not in, like, a malicious, like, intent kind of thing, but just that, like, maybe walking a fine line of what I'm saying.
But something has definitely gotten him worked up more than he has been ever in the past, and particularly over the last night.
Well, if you need any help, you know you can count on us.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I hope you feel the same way about me as well. I will help you.
is your god open to new people? I don't know about.
I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm available, but they won.
Yeah.
No, it's what I messaged.
That race is
Still
literally
alive.
down to the last game.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I mean,
I don't know much about religion, and it seems like you might be the only really religious folk here.
I think if there are those seeking help in her, she would lend aid.
Oh. Okay.
I pull out like a little pamphlet that's like
Yeah.
everything you need to know. Actually, no, I do have like a little book about like teachings of Limbari that I will. If you'd like to read this, feel free to.
Oh, sure.
You can tell it's like a somewhat older like book that it's not.
The
This is not.
book of
Yeah,
It is handwritten.
yeah.
And
But you can tell that like I have
I
not
can't
written in
read
it
this
recently.
handwriting.
Yeah, I have not written in it.
as you
recently.
like flip it open, it for a moment the light of the moon reflects off of it
Oh,
beautifully, particularly in some of the silver embossing work on the front that's been done by.
you don't mind me boiling this? I'm just curious more than anything.
I'm more than happy to share Limbari's word.
I'm not very religious myself, but my clan is devout of Denax.
Oh, do you have a book about him or
I
her?
don't.
Oh, well, maybe one day you can teach me a little bit about it if you know much.
I mean,
Excuse me.
Do you
kind
think?
of like the first communion. You remember it, but you don't really practice it, you know? It's the god of resilience in a way. It's all about what doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
It's a great
Good
song.
song.
This might be a little far fetched, but do you guys think there's a Loxodon god?
Maybe.
Oh. Interesting.
As in a god that looks after Loxodons or that looks like an Loxodon?
Potentially both. I don't know.
I don't know.
I
that
mean, I've
many-
seen a few illustrations of Limbari, and it seems to be a very beautiful woman. Perhaps there's a very strong Loxodon god or something.
Astra turns to you.
Oh.
She's been
I
pretty
forgot
quiet
you were
throughout this
here.
walk. And she says, I don't know about Loxodon, but I've been thinking ever since I first met you that Imbrus would be right up your alley.
What
He's
is it?
Imbrus, the Tinkerer. He's the god of creation and complex systems that all work together
How do
to
you
achieve a
spell that?
single goal. IMBRIS.
Imbus. You're such an imbus.
I deliberately didn't read anything you wrote about Pantheon because my character deliberately would not like.
She pulls out like a little book and flips through
Another
to
book
it
for you to read.
and begins narrating. Imbrus, the Tinkerer, is the god of experimentation and grand pursuits. His followers believe in poking and prodding at the nature of all things to discover what strange side effects they may cause. They believe in creativity and building things, and have a great appreciation for complex systems,
Oh, wow.
regardless of whether they're man-made or not. This appreciation lends to a great desire to do no harm to any such system, unless, of course, it's to improve it in some way.
Wow.
Yeah, it's,
That's incredible. I didn't know that.
yeah, there aren't many. I noticed that in Schema there aren't many temples or any religious followers, really. But
Yeah, well, I mean, the magic.
I always thought that when we first met and when we met the artificers and everything, that they would have some sort of a worship of him. But no, they don't.
Not to my knowledge, but I mean, the magic tech was kind of developed by the artificers and built upon from wherever they found it. So I'm not sure they had a need necessarily, but thank you all for this. It's definitely something that piques my interest, and I will do some studying.
And I don't know if there's any images of Denox that say that it's a human or a humanoid. There's always the image of an anvil. It's anvil everywhere in that damn city. Anvil this, anvil that.
Interesting. Well, like I said, I don't even know where to begin with religion, but it's just interesting that so many folks, including Kelthir and your people and Astra to some regards, know a lot about it. So, interesting. Thank you.
If you want, it's a clear night sky. I can maybe even point out the constellation up somewhere.
What's a consolation?
It's the stars up in the sky. All of the gods have one.
Oh, my father told me that those were all fallen kings. His name was Mufasa. He was a lion.
Yeah, no, I can. You might have to get up real high above the tree line. To be
Oh,
able to
I don't
spot
think
it,
that's
but
a good idea. That's kind of terrifying.
If you ever look in the sky and you can see some of these stars forming almost like a little spoked cog. That's
Repeat that word, cog.
cog.
Okay. I was scared for a minute.
Iron.
A spoke cock.
Okay.
While everybody's
Oh,
looking up at the
dangerous.
constellations, I quickly.
Oh, no. I was just saying, while there's also the religious talk going on, I'm fascinating, like just making a little necklace holster for the hilt
Oh.
that I have that I identified. Wearing that, but it's not quite a cross because it's just the hilt. But
Wait, you're a religious man as well?
what?
Are you a religious man?
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe you can
What
join
made you-
Imbrus with me. Or maybe the god of the moon.
Or
Is
the
that what we're
spoke
doing
cock.
Or the spoked cock.
I'm just gonna spend the next little bit and completely forgetting about what just happened with Calthier going spacey, and I'm just gonna lay in the grass and stare up at the stars.
Oh, I think I see one.
Was Astra just reading, or I guess like Astra? Do you have a book on gods?
Yeah, I do. I think she does. Am I misremembering things? I thought for sure
What was
she
that?
I was asking if Astra has a book on gods.
She almost definitely has
Yeah.
a book that she has
Yes.
written everything she knows about gods.
I know
Yeah.
that she has written
Yes.
stuff in.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a physical book. Or
Oh,
if
it
that's-
is.
Like,
Oh, no.
I
sorry.
think she
Yeah,
actually
She
has a
physically
book
has
that
like
she has written,
Yeah.
like,
a
notes
god
about it,
slash constellation.
It's more about the constellation than the
Yeah.
stars than anything else, but
Yeah.
Gotcha.
just like
She
she's
has showed us
associated-
many times, and I think we all were like, "That's cool."
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just spend the next, probably the rest of the night till I fall asleep looking at the stars,
Okay.
completely forgetting Calthier.
Some of you all fall asleep, some of you keeping watch, some of you not. Kelper, once again, your trance ends in the same way. You once again notice the city of purple smoke forming, becoming enveloped in darkness, and the darkness spreading to consume the moon and consume you and consume all. As you wake up.
I want to see if he can.
What do you roll for?
I'm rolling just as like my own thing to see if it still startles me. But I rolled a dirty 20, so I feel like
I think at this point
I
you
keep
know
my
what's
composure.
coming.
Yeah.
So.
I've seen this before.
yeah. Yeah. I still think that I kind of wake a little bit more abruptly, but I don't stumble back or anything.
Your night otherwise passes pretty uneventfully. You still, throughout the night, if you wake up to keep watch, you do pick up a faint whiff of
It's
decaying
all
flesh
kind of
on the
around,
wind.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's all. You don't see any movement. You don't get approached by anything. Pretty
Okay.
quiet night.
We get our long rest.
You do get your long rest.
Hey.
I didn't use anything.
We can do one more day of quick travel and see if anything else comes up.
Derek, roll the d20.
Just roll a survival check for me really quickly.
Oh, survival. Wait, this one has advantage?
Yes, this one
Yes.
does have advantage
This is-
because you know.
This is
the
to go.
rule
Wait,
of Astra.
but there's the roll to.
No, this is not the
Survival
roll.
check is just to
D20.
determine whether you stay on.
Do you
course.
want to roll the survival or me? Because I have okay survival.
No, go for
You
it.
have
Yeah.
a compass now.
I do have
You
a
do have
compass
a
now.
compass.
I'm already getting
But
advantage.
you're already
already.
getting advantage.
Yeah.
That sucks.
That sucks.
11.
I roll.
Wait, you have no survival
No.
edition?
God
did-
damn it! If I rolled that, that was a 17.
Once again, your travel is just slower than you would expect as you end up finding that on the banks of this
And I have a
hill
great modifier,
that you're
just
trying to
basically
travel
always have
just
advantage.
Oh, okay.
past.
Does
There's
that
been a
even
little bit of
work?
the snow and rain has kind of
Damn it.
melted recently, and it's a lot muddier
I mean,
than you'd
it's-
expected.
If that's
So
north,
that
we're
slows
definitely
you.
going south.
It just slows you down a little
Yeah.
bit more than that. Just roll a d20 for me.
There
really
you go.
quickly,
Derek.
just so
Very
that
nice.
I know if I need to prepare something for next session. or
Natural
not.
1.
9.
No
Okay.
one more than last time.
That's good to
And
know.
one better.
And that will reflect on our next session as we continue on approaching the edge of the Frostfang Woods towards the grassy tundra and plains. On your way to Sylvia. We'll wrap up the session
I
here.
hope we fight skitterflies or something. Okay.
All
Fun
right.
session, guys. It was good to get back into it.
We're finally playing again.
We'll see you guys in 3 more months.
Yeah, once every 3 months. All right.